Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Certainly. JPA Buddy is a powerful tool that assists developers in working with Java Persistence API, JPA, in Spring Boot applications. It helps streamline the development process by providing features like code generation, entity management, and database interaction capabilities. What is JPA? Java Persistence API, JPA, is a Java specification for accessing, persisting, and managing data between Java objects and a relational database. It simplifies data handling and promotes better separation of concerns. What is JPA Buddy? JPA Buddy is a plugin that integrates with popular ides, like intellij IDEA, to enhance the JPA development experience. It generates boilerplate code, helps manage entities, and supports various database operations. Getting started with JPA Buddy. Step 1. Set up your environment. 1. Install intellij IDEA, if you haven't already. 2. Install JPA Buddy plugin. Go to File-Settings-Plugins. Search for JPA Buddy and install it. 3. Create a new Spring Boot project. Use Spring Initializr, https://start.spring.io, to generate a new Spring Boot project with the following dependencies. Spring Web, Spring Data JPA, H2 Database, for development purposes. Step 2, configure your project. 1. Add database configuration. Open application.properties or application.yml and configure the H2 database. 2. Add JPA Buddy annotations. You can annotate your JPA entities to help JPA Buddy generate the necessary code. Step 3. Create your first entity. 1. Create an entity class. Create a new class user in the model package. Step 4. Use JPA Buddy to generate repository. 1. Create a repository interface. Use JPA Buddy to generate a repository interface for your user entity. You can generate this interface using JPA Buddy's code generation feature, which will create standard CRUD methods for your entity. Step 5. Create a service layer. 1. Create a user service. Create a service class to handle business logic. Step 6. Create a controller. 1. Create a REST controller. Create a controller to handle HTTP requests. Step 7. Run your application. Run your Spring Boot application, and you can access the H2 console at http://localhost 8080/h2console. Use Postman or any other tool to test your API. Get request to http://localhost 8080/API/users to retrieve all users. Post request to http://localhost 8080/API/users with a JSON body to create a new user. Conclusion. With JPA Buddy, you can speed up your JPA development process significantly. This tutorial provided a foundational overview of setting up a Spring Boot application with JPA Buddy. You can explore more advanced features, such as entity relationships, custom queries, and more, as you become familiar with the tool. Resources. JPA Buddy documentation, https://jpa-buddy.com/docs. Spring Data JPA documentation, https://docs.spring.io/spring-data/jpa/docs/current/reference/html. Spring Boot documentation, https://spring.io/projects/spring-boot. Feel free to ask if you have any specific questions or need further clarification.